What is going on, everybody? This is Waning Moonlight, and today we will be tackling Dark Souls 1 without dodge rolls or without shields, which means we are face tanking every single hit. If I do by instinct or on accident hit block or roll, then we have to annihilate our character, send them to the Shadow Realm and all. And then I cannot pick up any of the souls I had upon death. But we will be allowed to parry with our bare hand and jump because we do need the parkour in this game. So with all that said and done, we start the game as a knight because not only does he have good HP, but he has some pretty good armor. And obviously, we're going to need it. So, with all this said, we're running through the asylum, and obviously it's not that big of a deal. Only a few hollows to really worry about, so we're just going to skip right on to the actual demon of it. With a good plunging attack, he's already pretty much dead. Everyone knows this. And I was actually kind of surprised that he wasn't that much of a challenge. I just spammed heavy attacks, and the first fight was done. Go us. One down, a lot more pain and suffering to go. So, let's see how it goes. I need to save every soul for the first few minutes, so we can make it to the merchant, right here. See, some of you may be familiar with this glitch we're about to perform, but I need to buy 999 of the wooden arrows. Why that many? Am I going to be an archer this run? Quite the opposite. I'm doing a glitch. Here, with 999 arrows, we could turn one soul item into 999 of them, which lets us power level very early on, which is going to be very helpful. Obviously, because we're going to be taking all the hits in the world, I literally just got HP up and stamina. Because I'm sure sometimes when you get hit, it takes some stamina, so you can't really do much else. So the kind of goal is to get really stacked with armor and a heavy hitting weapon. And I wasn't really quite sure what ones to use yet. However, that means we can all be surprised by the end, right? So, when running up to the Taurus demon, we gotta take out the sentries over there. And then we have to go and run the boss fight. And I don't know if it's supposed to be a surprise that he's there. I know it's the first game, so maybe you wouldn't be expecting a boss. But I mean, you have a fog wall. And then another fog wall not that far down. It's kind of obvious that someone's going to be there. I don't know if that's just me. Surprised or not, I knew he was there because I played the game. And he goes down with a few heavy slashes. Now, his slam down attacks will prove to be a problem later. Well, with other bosses having them. Because if I get knocked down, I can't really roll to get back up. So it's a slow process and it could lead to me getting comboed. But either way, we keep moving, and I pick up the Claymore. I've seen a lot of people talk about this weapon, and I want to see if it was any good. It's a great sword, and I love great swords there. Great. We walk on down to Andre. We buy a bunch of Titanite so we can get it up to +5. Why not? Get a little extra damage in that thing. And it's doing pretty solid. We test our new weapon against this guy. And usually he's a bit of an issue, but actually, things went pretty good. Just 3-4 hits and he's done. The other knights too. One shots. That's pretty good. We run our way up to Lautrec to go steal his ring of favor and protection. Now, obviously, most people like to kick him off the ledge, but I like running up and fighting him. It doesn't go well for me the one time I don't do a jump attack. So I stuck to those. Also because we're in tight quarters. And he actually he put up a good fight, If I wasn't spamming jump attacks, he probably would have had me too, with all those parries. But now it's time for the first real fight, the Gargoyles. Now, I didn't go back to the bonfire, I just popped a humanity. So we're a few S's down, which actually was almost the cause of a failure, as you'll see. They have a few moves that will knock you down, which stop me from whatever I'm doing, which is a pain. Luckily, the other gargoyle would rather spit fire than knock me down. Not that he won't, but it's just what he prefers to do. The fire would be dangerous. If we get hit by it, we're just being stun locked into it. There's not much we can do but walk out of it. Luckily, close call aside, it is done, and we can ring the Bell of Awakening. And with that out of the way, we can go upgrade our Estus. As we run down to go ring the next bell, I would like to take this moment to quickly remind you to subscribe. I'm about to hit 500 subscribers, and when I do, I'm going to be ranking every single Dark Souls starting class from worst to best. And of course, if you like challenge runs, I do them all the time, several times. So definitely check my channel if you want to see more of that. And with that said, it's time to make our way all the way down, which, it's the usual. You go, get poisoned, have to pop a healing so you don't, die mid-boss fight. And I did pick up the lightning paper you can get in the Undead Burg, so we got a nice weapon buff. However, I slip up pretty early on. She starts the fight, she vomits some lava, and you can see for a split second, I guard with the sword on instinct, which means my life is forfeit. However, really weird. So, she does her typical sword combo, and I'm standing in this lava, and I'm taking 0 damage. I wonder, is all the lava bug? But no. I just got some weird lava right here. If anyone knows why it's like that, let me know. I'm curious. On the next way down, of course, I have the lucky experience of being toxic, which I thought, whatever. For a second, I remember, wait, toxic and poison? Nah, I ain't fighting her like this. So I had to let myself get annihilated. Next run, what do you know it, I get toxic again. So, okay, things aren't going well. Fourth tries the charm. That's what they say, right? I think. And, well, whatever they say, true or not, this one was a charm for me. Stayed by the legs. Didn't really get hit by anything too major. I had the bright idea of walking not in front of the mouth of the giant lava spider. Who would have thought? And things went a whole lot better. But once again, we ran out of healing, and it was a close call. If I didn't get that stagger, I might have been a dead man. But with all that, we're good, we're living, we coolin', we ring the next bell, and we're on to Sans Fortress. It was around this time when I realized, okay, I'm definitely going to need new armor and probably a different weapon, or at the very least, upgrade it. And while I was running here, I was like, oh, wait a minute. There's a shopkeep over here. Let me go see what he has for sale. I talk with him. He talks too much. I check his weapons, and I've used them before. Wasn't a big fan. But armor-wise, the steel set looked pretty cool. I know the Katarina set technically was more defensively better, but I wanted to try something new. We then take on the giant who shoots the fire in the arena because, he's just annoying. And then it's time to go fight the Iron Golem. And he was really handsy today, to say the least. I run up, and he does his typical axe thing as you get closer. But then he grabs me. And at first I thought I was going over the edge, but no, that was fine. And then he grabs me again, throws me down again. Okay. He goes for a third grab. I just dodge rolled it. Well, not dodge rolled, I just walked out of the way. Hand slam, whatever. Then he has his stagger, which lets me do a third of his health bar by the time he's back. And he grabs me again. Throws me down. I get back up. He uses the axe, so ignore that. And then his hand slam. But then we get another grab. I don't know what bro's deal was. I ain't interested. He got the memo when I killed him. Or at least I'm hoping he got the memo. And then we're on our way to Anor Londo now, which is where I'd like to be. The archers wasn't too bad. I just kind of quit out. And then when I got to them, I just parried them to death. I have mastered the bare hand parry. I'm much better at it with doing it barehanded than with a shield. When we're in Anor Londo, we are able to go and find Havel's armor. I did fight the Mimic because I knew with the sword, it would be, or not the sword, the club, you can make it into a divine club, which is good against the skeletons when you fight Nito. But I forgot to unupgrade it because I had never actually done that before, so it slipped my mind. Oh well, we got Havel's gear now, and that's good. Good stuff. And now it's time for the most painful part of the run. How bad can it be? Just Ornstein and Smough. Yeah, probably should have guessed duo fight wouldn't be the best, especially when they both specialize in knocking you down. Okay, new plan. Havel's gear and just run it. And of course, best plan yet, it worked quite well. Well, not well, it worked better than what I had been doing. Who would have thought having better armor would mean you're better at, like, face tanking? Am I right, guys? Now, every 2 hits with the Dragon Tooth would stagger, which was definitely helpful. And Ornstein's really annoying. Not Ornstein, Smough. When his hammer is, like, if you hit his hammer, it will, like, do no damage to him. But if his hammer is, like, hitting you, and it's in between you and Ornstein, it will block the hit for him. It was really sucky. But when it was a one-on-one fight, there was not much more he could do. He would stagger every 2 hits, so it wasn't much of a challenge. His jumps were annoying, but I had enough humanity to out-heal it. And then boom. Halfway point of the game. Let's see where we go from here. I take off Havel's and think about what weapon I want to use. I feel like Dragon Tooth and Havel's is too on the nose, to say the least. I debate using the Occult Club for a little bit. You know, it does pretty solid damage as I go to place the altar. And I was like, you know what? Nah, let's go see Andre. There I buy a battle axe and get the +5. You know, just something fun. Then we go on our way to the Catacombs. Forgot his name for a second. Here, of course, we're going to go take on Pinwheel because he will give us the important item, the Rite of Kindling, which can let us have more healing. And obviously, we're going to need a lot of healing if we're face tanking everything. Should I have grabbed this sooner? Yeah. Did I think about it till now? No. So, this was just an unforeseeable thing. Pinwheel obviously goes down pretty quick. And then we get our Rite of Kindling. Now, do I go all the way to Nito right now? I tried, and then died, because I didn't have a light. So, before we're going to go grab the Sunlight Maggot, we have to go get our Covenant to level 30. So I go ahead, dupe some humanity, up to 99 of them, because, you know, like, you gotta be really human. I'm the most human person ever. I'm 99 of them. And then, of course, we also have to take on Ceaseless Discharge, which he got really mad because I took these, like, random clothes. I don't know why he wanted to fit. I don't think they fit him. And he gets so mad, but then he apologizes, actually, meets me at the gate. I give him a high five, and he leaves me alone. But I did freaking mess up here. I tried to hit B to close out that menu, forgetting that that wouldn't work, so I ended up dodge rolling and had to kill myself. Either way, then we get to make it to the door. We open it up, which then unlocks the Sunlight Beetle. That's what I'm going to call it. Killing it gives us a light source, which means we can go all the way back to the Tomb of the Giants. Could I have gone and done the Bed of Chaos? Probably. Would that have been the smarter choice? Maybe. But I had a plan here. I knew exactly what our weapon was going to be for this run. A idea lit up. We fight Paladin Leroy, squash him like a bug, and pick up our future weapon, Grant. And before that, we have to take on Nito, just because, you know, we're already out. And we can't use it yet because it has a high faith stat. Now, like I said earlier, we can't use the Divine Club, so we just gotta rely on Nito to kill them. And he does. Quite often, actually. Nito is probably my favorite Lord Soul to fight, just because he actually kills, like, his skeletons, and he just spams that AoE. So I really just stand there and just hammer away the entire fight. It's super funny to me. But yeah, this is why I didn't want to use the Dragon Tooth, because I mean, like, it's like a basic damage, like 250. Are you kidding me? That's insane. That's too good. So just in a matter of seconds, we have a Lord Soul done. And, I was like, while we're here, let me go do the Soul Stoop so we can actually be able to use Grant. We just gotta find out what it needs, which is some faith. So I power level that all the way up to 46. And there we go. Now we just gotta go and upgrade it. And it needs Twinkling Titanite, so we're gonna go visit our buddy, the Giant Blacksmith. Honestly, I do respect that Dark Souls 2 Dark Souls 1 made it so easy just to get Twinkling Titanite. That's the one issue that like some of the later games have. You can't buy them till like super late game. But anyways, with our new weapon, I also put on the Paladin Leroy armor. So now we're a paladin on a journey to kill a demon and witches. Bit of a crusade, some may say. And it's this boss, which honestly, I think the Beta Chaos would have been really cool in like Elden Ring. Can you tell me a giant area boss like this would not have been perfect? I think FromSoftware would be like worried to make another one because of how the reputation was for it in Dark Souls 1. But I think having a jump button and better hitboxes and stuff would have made this boss so good. Either way, we die just a few times, but we're able to go and actually hit all of these things. I know there's a way you can like stand in the middle, throw some bombs, but I don't know how to do that. And last time I tried it, it didn't work out for me. Not that this strat works any better, because I still died 3 times. But either way, we get to make it through. I wouldn't say unscathed, because we were actually pretty scathed by it. I remember to heal up though, because I have died several times to a firestorm on my way to kill the Beta Chaos. And wouldn't you know it, here it comes. That's what good planning gets you. That and knowing what the game throws at you. So with that said, I smite the Beta Chaos, and that's another Lord Soul down. Which means we gotta choose where to go, and I thought, I'll go for the 4 Kings. Which sadly means we need to take on Sif. And that's when I had a funny idea as we were running over here. I still have a ring slot open, so I know exactly what to grab. I talk to this weird cat person, I don't know what their deal is, and then I spot the invisible man. Here, I whack him with my hammer, and take the ninja flip ring. This, when we dodge roll, turns our roll into a flip. But I am not dodge rolling. So I just put it on because it's going to do nothing, and it entertained me. Either way, Sif is pretty weak to being hit by hammers, which, fun fact, so are most people. That's a little strategy for real life. And it just takes a few seconds to break her down. We also grab the Hornet Ring, even though, once again, not very useful for the build. Then we go and upgrade our Estus Flask and head on down to go fight the 4 Kings. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Their attack's pretty high, though our armor is pretty solid, So, let's see how it goes. I ran up. First one comboed me a good bit, not gonna lie. But once I was in, and he went down pretty fast. And so did the other ones, until there was just one more left. And I was also out of Estus, so this was going to be a fight to the finish. So I spotted the last one, ran in. He hit me with one of those, I don't know what to call them, like dark beams, which let me dodge his sword. Then I go in for the AoE, smiting down the evil creature. Then I wanted to see what happens if I don't have the Abyss Walker ring on, and it was nothing, so I was really disappointed. On the way to the Duke's Archives, we actually got the boar helmet, so heck yeah, I'm rocking it. And then, we have to go find Seath, and I didn't really want to fight him, so I just kind of left. and then down to his tower. Of course, nothing can go right. I try and make my way around these guys, and I get crabbed, pierced, and then launched. So actually, that was a pretty good skip. I make my way to Sif, and there were 2 clams in the room. I didn't really know if I should close out or not, but I was like, I'm just going to go for it. And I literally just stood here and hammered away. I hammered and then hammered until he was basically dead. Now, this paladin set was chosen by choice because it actually has pretty good curse resistance too. So it was perfect to counter Sif. So it's almost time for endgame. I repair Grant one more time, and then I wanted to get 1 change of armor. As good as this paladin set is, I know there are some better tankier ones, and because I plan on parrying Gwyn, I know I'm going to mess that up. So I need tankier armor. So with the Smough set, we're good to go. As we run down this staircase, to say my final thoughts, I say this run was kind of cool, but it could not work for the other games. Dark Souls 1, allowing you to do that soul glitch, actually lets you have the HP necessary to do this run. I cut out quite a few deaths, because, I mean, it's just going to happen in this run. Dark Souls 2 has a lot more enemies that do, like, slam down attacks that, like, knock you down. And when you can't dodge roll and you can't block them, there's nothing you can really do. Dark Souls 3, enemies do a lot more damage and are way faster. So, you know, it's just like a lot of things. And the other games would make this challenge run, like, way more challenging, I guess you could say. Just dumb as it sounds, but this was a fun way to do the challenge run. So, I personally recommend doing this if you've never tried it. But with all that said, I walk into the boss, and it's time to finish things off. He does his jump attack, and I get that parry. I have never once gone that jump parry, and he punished me heavily for even attempting to do so. As you can see, he let me have it, going for the grab attack, which there's nothing I could do to the grab other than take it. I can't parry a grab, as cool as that would be. Like, he goes to grab, and I just swat it away. That would be cool. But obviously, I can't, and I did almost die. Luckily, I maxed out that healing. And it was a good thing we did. Then I go behind him. I try to do the healing glitch. Semi-worked. And then we finish him with a Grant Smite. And there we go. Challenge complete. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do please like and subscribe. I put challenge runs out pretty frequently, once to twice a week, so yeah, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.